Smells good in here. I smell the
Nice.
chicken.
That's what it is.
That's what I smell.
I didn't even eat the chicken. I need to eat. Can I just wrap one up and take it home? with me?
Mm,
I'll take it home to Georgia.
to Georgia. It's like 2 days from now. Hey everybody. This is officially episode 20 of the For Lifers chat. And today we have a special guest. One of my close friends. My cousins. I know all you be like, your cousins aren't your friends. Mine are. You're not me. Um, all my cousins are my friends, close friends. Um, Gwen Ali. um, but yeah. Welcome, Gwen.
Bye,
Yeah, that's
Lily.
fine. So, oh my gosh. So it's been how long? How long ago did you mention this to me about being on here? Like 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a while ago. It
probably
was like when we first started.
like June, August.
Yeah, something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got my bartender today. Um, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What have you been doing? It is now 2026.
Yes.
How was 2025?
2025. Okay. 2025 was a big decision that I decided to make. I made the big choice to move to Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and I did that so I can pursue my career in acting and just performing in all the arts. Yes, yep, yeah. um, but it has been a challenge because I immediately just threw myself into everything without really thinking about what I was putting myself into
Mm-hmm.
because I was so coming from like a household where it's they're all teachers, doctors, lawyers, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
educators. And then I was like the black sheep. So I had to immediately just dive into it because I didn't really have the support from my immediate family, as I would say. I
So you
definitely did have support, but just not in the way that that I
needed
needed it.
it.
Yeah.
You've been acting though. You've been acting. You've been singing. From
Yeah.
what I believe, you and your sister, y'all been doing all that. But
Hmm.
so, what other decision making was like big last year? Because for me, I feel like last year was a big decision making year for me too. Like it was a lot. Not even a lot. It was enough. Like I'm not overwhelmed. I'm not ungrateful. But
Hmm.
it was back to back to back to back to back for me. It was like that for you.
Mm. Do you mean like in the sense of accomplishing things like back to back to back to back?
Just decision making. Like you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this or that. Like I'm gonna drip or drown. Like I'm gonna do it or I'm not, and then it might hold me back if I don't do it. Because that's how it was for me.
I would say that I tried to accomplish those things back to back to back. Some things
Okay.
fell through, some things, happened.
Okay. Well, I'm not really saying accomplished because uh, an accomplishment is like subjective, kind of like
Oh.
it's for me. I mean, I am hard on myself, but for me, an accomplishment is like I tried, I did it the best I could, I learned from it a lot, and I'll probably try again later. That's accomplishment to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just mean decision making. Like for me, it was saving, it was moving, it was deciding where I was gonna move, how I was gonna move, if it was best to buy a house right now or not to buy a house right now. It was okay if we move. How long am I gonna be within my day job until I want to actually start my passion or continue my passion? Like it was just a lot of moving pieces, and especially moving pieces always come into when you're moving. Like when you're moving to start and finally do what you've been wanting to do, it's big. Like you're like, oh, and you finally have the space and opportunity to do it. You finally have the space and opportunity to do it. So you're going into doing it and you're like, yes.
It's like you can't back out now because you're already
Yeah,
there.
exactly. But then
Mm-hmm.
it's also after that, there's more decisions that have to be made. Like that's
Yeah.
not the end of
This
it.
is not the end. This is
It's
just
not.
the
It's the
yeah.
beginning.
This is
Yeah,
just the tip of the
exactly.
iceberg.
And it's just like, okay, what's next?
Hmm.
Like, are you gonna keep it going?
No,
And
honestly, that's how I felt as soon as I landed in Georgia and I grabbed everything that was in my car because I shoved everything in my car and I drove. But
yeah,
as soon as I got, but as soon as I got to Georgia and I dumped everything in my room, and all like my bags were just unpacked, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, okay, I'm here.
mm,
Now what's the next move? And I
right,
immediately just started working,
yeah,
just like 9 to 5,
mm,
and then with working those 9 to 5s, like saving money, but then also, you got bills on top of all that stuff too. So you got to make sure you're living, but you also got to make sure you're living, you
yeah.
know?
Mm. People always tell me I go out a lot. I'm like, no, I mean, no, I'm living. Like, it's not necessarily me going out a lot. Like, I'm not about to just work every single day and that's it. I mean,
Yeah.
even if I have a, I don't know, 12 to 14-hour day, so be it. At least I'm doing what I want to do.
No, and that's what, so I started working like the 9 to 5s, and then I felt like I was tied to it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my freedom to really go and do what I wanted to do because I was like, damn, I gotta work this job because I need to make sure that I make the money. But I feel like that's me doubting myself.
Yeah.
Because if I'm saying I need to make the money in this 9 to 5, but I'm not putting in as much work as to make the money in the field that I want to be in.
Mhm.
And then I start doubting myself because I'm like, wait, I can't even, I know that I'm going to make money at that 9 to 5,
Yeah.
but I'm taking a big risk if I choose to call out and go to an audition, right?
Right.
And then if I don't get the audition, then I'm like, I just wasted a day that I could have been
Yeah.
working. And that's what, and because I'm thinking of when my next income will be,
Yeah.
I start getting in my head and it messes up my audition.
Honestly, I stopped thinking about that when I quit my first job with no with like no backup plan. Because that's when so I used to
When
work at
did
the
you
Hard
do
Rock.
that?
At the Hard Rock. I just quit.
Really?
At the Hard Rock when I was working at Council Oak Steakhouse, go there, the food's good. I mean, it's not as good as when I was there, but anyway, and my chef's not even there anymore either. He's at Lock Bar in Philly, Broad Street. Anyway, um, I quit because it was right. So first of all, we had COVID, right?
Yeah.
So this is my series of events I remember. Kayla's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
last day of work. Oh wait, whatever was first. COVID, you was here, or
Yeah.
we was all at my mom's house.
Yeah.
And then I was like, in my head, I'm just like, Aaliyah, what are you about to do? What are you about to do? This is probably the best time to figure out what you're about to do
Because we was
because you
cooped
have opportunity.
up
It's nothing else for you to do right now in this moment.
other than the
But
plan.
right, but you
Mm-hmm.
know is this is gonna be over. So what are you about to do? So I decided to go down and launch Leah's Eats in Atlanta because um that's where I still had the biggest audience at the time because I was living there for 10 or whatever, however many years from 6th grade to 12th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So I still, I had like pretty okay connections from there, plus people I went to school with. And plus, I was still working. Like when I was doing influencing, I was still working down there. So I still had all that. So went down there, did that. My chef texted me literally like a couple weeks before I had came back. He was like, "Are you coming back?" I was like, "I don't know." And I texted back there. I was like, "I don't know."
You were
I
in
was like,
Georgia?
"Yeah," because I kept him up to date with what I was doing. Like
Okay.
I had a real relationship with him. So he was like, "Are you coming back to work?" Like, and then some people weren't too. Some people weren't coming back, and it's like it's understandable because it's like
Around that time.
this is
Yeah.
the opportunity to do what you
Yeah.
kind of want to do. We had the stimulus checks, like people was doing what
Right?
they needed to
Passing
do.
out stimmies.
so so they so I was like, yeah. So I didn't text him right back. I texted back, I think like the next day. I was like, yeah, I'm coming back. I'll be
Mhm.
back this date. So I bought my ticket. But to come back. But when I came back, I was low key miserable. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't care. Like, I was at a union job.
See, and
I was
that's
making pretty good money.
that's what you feel tied to it. You feel
Yeah.
like you can't leave it because you feel like comfortable and safe, and you
Yeah.
know that you're going to get that income, but you don't feel happy.
So I didn't say nothing to nobody. I put my 2 weeks in like a couple months later after we got back. And the only person, of course, knew was like my chef, and he was just giving me advice. I was letting him know what I was about to do, but I didn't tell my parents or nothing. I didn't
Yeah.
tell nobody. He was like, "Well, don't sell yourself short. Always know your worth of what you're gonna do,
Yeah.
and I hope it's successful. Whatever you decide to do, this, that." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." And that was that. I think my parents found out I quit like a week later because, of course, I didn't go to work. So they found out like a week later after the 2 weeks, and they was like yelling at me. Not gonna lie, I didn't care. Like I cared, but I was like, I felt like this decision was great. I felt like this was a great decision. I
It's
felt,
a canon. What is it? Canon effect? Canon event.
oh, I've
Yeah.
heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but I cared that they were like yelling at me, and of course, and then I live in their house, but like they never like they sound real spoiled. They're not gonna kick me out.
Right.
So I was just like,
That's your
yeah.
parents.
I mean, my parents.
Yeah, yeah.
To speak for me.
That's your parents.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so that was that. So back then is when I started to not put money on things. I started doing that back then.
Mhm.
Cause it's like the money is always gonna come. It really is. It's always gonna come. And you have to just trust and have faith in that. And you have to attract it very well.
That part.
So,
That
and that
part.
was back in 2020,
2020. 2021.
2021.
Mm-hmm.
2021 is also though when I met Wanye.
Mm-hmm.
When I started like doing heavy influencing brand ambassadorships. I mean, I don't have any brand ambassadorships right now, but
I remember
it
when
was
you was
when I was
popping out
doing
with
that.
all that
Like I
stuff
was
too.
just going because I was just going. I was just
Mhm.
going. I was learning. I
The
was doing what I
momentum was
needed to do.
there.
Yeah, it was great momentum. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
still is. But so that's when I started that. So I really kind of got out of that a while ago of like feeling tied because even recently, because I did get another 9 to 5. I had turned 26. I needed insurance, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I got another like secured 9 to 5. And it was kind of flexible. So, but even with that, recently I stopped being tied to that. I only was tied to it because I needed to save money. I had ran out of money, a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only tied to that where I was to save money and to like continue to move forward, especially with the economy we're in and the president we're under. So, so I did that, and then, but now I don't really go to that 9 to 5 like that no more. I'm part time with it, and I'm doing what I need to do. So you're gonna get to that. You're gonna be like, all right, I'll be fine. I'll be okay. Especially with you having a significant other, you're gonna start to feel more secure, especially if y'all are on the same page. Especially if y'all are on the same page.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna start to feel that way. And it's so much better when you're working together. Oh my God. When you're
My
not by
God, yeah.
yourself, it's great.
It does. I literally sent him like an entire paragraph, like couple
Couple
hours,
hours
like an
ago.
hour ago, and I was just like, he, like, yes, I love that he like puts all this confidence in me, but he also reminds me that you need to find it within yourself too. Like, it's not just it's not just me motivating you. You need to find that encouragement within
Yeah,
you.
you do.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah. So
Um,
when it comes to the whole, depending on that 9 to 5 thing, when I get back to Georgia, the very first thing that I'm doing is I'm quitting that job.
oh, you are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Are you okay though with that?
I am okay with that. I am quitting the job
Mm-hmm.
by the end of January.
Okay.
I am going to dive full, like headfirst into acting, modeling, dancing, just performing, because that's what I love to do. I have an agency, so it's not like I'm just freelance, just roaming around. I can apply myself to auditions. I can apply myself into my craft that I love doing so badly.
Mm-hmm.
And I can finally, it's going to be scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be something that it's not going to be easy. It's definitely going to be a challenge, but I feel like I can do it, and I have the right support group around me because I met a great community out in Georgia
Mm-hmm.
because they don't judge. Nobody judges out there. I felt like I was constantly being judged being here, not by you guys, not by
You
this
know what?
side of
Talk
the
about it, because you're
family.
the only one I have now from the transition from here to there to talk about the difference in culture.
Yep.
The difference in culture is crazy.
It's ridiculous compared to Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey, I feel like
Jersey, Philly, AC, New York, DMV, it's
yes.
all of it.
And the thing is, like, there's creatives in every corner, but yet people still find a way to judge you. Like, why are you judging me? And
Like
I'm
in the worst way.
right in the worst possible way.
Like
But
you're not doing what I'm doing.
then you go
Like
exactly. Like we're not both hustling to do the same exact
mhm.
thing. But in Georgia, like the community is ridiculous. It's so
It's
it's
amazing.
fascinating and amazing how much people will just have your back and they'll constantly just uplift you and they'll be there and they'll want to come to your things. They'll be like, yeah, like when is this dropping? Like when can I see this? When can I watch that?
Mhm.
And I do the same thing back
Mhm.
because I feel the love from them and then it's like, I'm gonna give you that stuff right back.
No, yeah. I completely feel that and nobody ever gets when I say that. I'm like the culture down there compared to up here is different. And I know why it's different though. Like I'm not struck. I'm not like, "Oh my gosh, why?" But I know
I
why.
am.
Okay, well, in my opinion, from my observation from going to school down there and then also I of course I went to school up here, even networking with cuz I networked, let's be clear. When I was in Georgia, I went to Young Chefs Academy. And I was exposed to a little bit different of a world and that's when I really started pursuing culinary.
Mhm.
Young Chefs Academy Sandy Springs. And my mentor at the time, Chef Kia, she she was a black woman from New York. I don't know what school she went to at the time. Right now, sorry, but she was a black woman from New York pursuing culinary arts.
But, like, that's what I mean. That's where, like, my confusion is because I meet people in Georgia, and they're like, Nobody's ever from here." It'll be people from New York, from Jersey, and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Why is it different? Why are y'all acting different coming down
Coming
here?"
down here,
Yeah,
cause
where was
cause
all
you
that?
have to. If you don't, you're not gonna be. Cause know a couple I know a couple of people who they went down there and it was unsuccessful because of how they were networking, how they were coming off to people, how they were talking to
Mm.
people, not understanding, or not even just not understanding because you don't understand until you get there, but not really trying to adapt to the cultural difference of when it comes to just being intellectual with other people, like just even the humility, the
The
humility
humility of
of
it.
it. But
Mhm.
then also, I feel like up here a lot of it's first of all it's a lot of white people up here. It is. It's a lot of white people up here. I mean, you have the pockets. Like, of course, you have Philly. Philly is a big city, but Philly is a pocket of Pennsylvania. Like it really is it's a mouse. Like it's small. Like it is
Philly's
compared to
big, but it's
Pennsylvania.
not.
Pennsylvania is a big state and it's a
Yeah.
Quaker state. Like it's not like this. That's real. So anyway, it's a small compared to Pennsylvania, and then you have the pockets of like DC. You have I don't even want to say Maryland. I'll say Baltimore,
Mm.
but then also in like the DMV. Besides Virginia, well, Virginia's pretty, and then you have like Maryland.
And it's crazy
It's
because
very mixed. It's
that's
mixed
the
a lot,
support that I get is from the community. It's from the
right?
community.
From or you mean the black community?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they
But I'm
want to
saying
see you do
most of the
good.
support up here is I feel like of each other, but if most of the people up here are white, that's who they're supporting each other.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying you're not gonna get support, but it is a little harder to get support because if we're already in a system that's not really made for us and we're trying to make it within that system,
Yeah.
we're going to be continuously until we do figure it out, which I feel like we will. We're going to be continuously trying to figure it out. I feel like to the white culture up here, I feel like it's a little bit delusional because we have nothing to do with it. Like
Nope.
you can try to adapt to it. You can do it, maybe in a culinary way, maybe in an artistic way. But at the end of the day, if you don't have that community of people who look like you or the representation, it's
Mhm.
hard. So that's my observation of being down there and then being up here for almost now the same amount of time.
Mhm.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's been the same amount of time. It's been 20 years. I'm old. It's been the same amount of time because I was down there from 6th to 12th grade,
Yeah.
whatever years that was, 2016. But then I was up here 2016. It's 2026.
Mhm.
So that's my observation of
What
that.
what were you saying about Chef Kia?
Oh, Chef Kia is a different realm of because I don't want people to think like, oh, the South is just like culture of like just black culture and um like black. I don't want to say urban, but urban culture. I don't want people to just think like, oh, that's my only experience.
Yeah.
No, I had experience all types of experiences because I was able to when I was down in Georgia. And when I was at Young Chefs Academy, Chef Kia, she was one of the head chefs, but then she became the owner like right before I left. And before that, it was Chef Kathy. Chef Kathy, she was a white woman, but I liked her a lot. She was a very down to earth woman. I really liked her. But then we also had, oh, I forget her name. I think her name was, I forget. It was another woman. She was a white lady, but she was younger. She was like how old I am now. And back
Hmm.
then I was like 15, 16, or 14, 15, 16, like that time frame.
Yeah.
And Sarah, she worked in the front. She was very, she was just very open. She was very business oriented. I think she's still even now pretty business oriented with what she does. I forget. I'm still connected with her on LinkedIn, but I was in that neighborhood of Sandy Springs. If you know where Sandy Springs is, you know what it is. Of being so connected with other audiences, but it was still community. It was still community, and it was still people that really wanted to help other people get to where you needed to go as long as you're doing what you need to do. And even though I was a kid, it's still I still felt it that I don't feel here.
And right, and don't get me wrong, community definitely is a big help in your journey and in
Yeah.
everyone's personal journey. But at the end of the day, it's you that
Yeah,
got
it
to
is
make the
you.
moves.
Hmm.
And because I lacked the support in the community for a while and I finally found it, I feel like I'm behind because that's where it
Okay.
starts. It starts with people uplifting, it starts with people encouraging, and then you find the strength within yourself to keep going.
Yeah.
But because I feel like I didn't really have that, I feel like I'm just starting right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've
I wouldn't
lost
say behind.
time, but I feel like I'm
How old
behind.
are you?
I'm 23.
I'm 4 years older than you.
Yeah.
You're not behind. You're not
Mm.
behind. If anything, you're right on time, in my opinion. Because 23 is very young, and I didn't know at the time when I was 23. But 23 is very young. You have a lot to do, and we are adults way longer than we're in our adolescence.
Mm.
So I feel like it's like right on time, and it's like you're you're kind of in a spot where you're actually about to start learning for real. So I feel like you're right on time. I don't think you're behind at all.
Yeah, I was starting to learn as soon as I got to Georgia. Oh my God. 'Cause
Wow.
that's when, because that's when like
Within
all
work?
like with just independence.
Yeah.
I'm not fully independent, but I'm getting to that point where it's like I'm creeping into me becoming independent,
Yeah.
and it's scary. I'm petrified. I'm scared,
I mean, I was still at home, so
but it's still scary though.
yeah.
Because I'm still at home technically. I'm still at
Yeah.
home.
But you're still paying for everything
Right,
for yourself. And you
right.
got to, and
I'm paying for myself to live.
yeah. And
Hmm.
it's like you're paying attention to what you need to do for you. Nobody else is. It's
Yeah.
just you.
Hmm. And that my relationship with money has become
Different.
so different.
Me too.
I like
It used to be terrible.
I'll be so honest. I don't want to say this because then it puts like negativity out in the air, but I hate money. I really, really do.
Why do you hate money?
I hate
You mean
it.
you hate the idea of money?
I hate the idea of it because all of our lives I've heard from my mom at least. You need money
Mm-hmm.
to live. You need money to do this. You need money to do this,
Mm-hmm.
which is true. But then it also makes people feel like they're stuck to it and they need it. And then people become greedy. And then people start, I don't know, what's a good, they start tricking you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then for money. Everything is always tied to, I need to be rich. I need to do this. And I hated
Yeah.
that mindset. I
Or like,
hate that
you
mindset.
know what saying I hate, and sometimes when I'm listening to music and I hear it, I'm like, okay, that's all you gotta say. Uh get your money up. That's it. Damn, like can I be told something else? Can you tell them to have a heart? Like, why you gotta tell me to get my money up?
Exactly.
Like that's it. And they won't say nothing else. Like, or it'll be like an ad lib at the end of the
Hmm.
song. And it's like, dang, get your money up. Where's your wallet?
Like
Whoa.
like it's that easy.
That's it. How about love yourself? Like something else. And I know there's artists that do say that, but I just feel like
I don't know. Love your.
because I just feel like you gotta have both. You
Yeah.
gotta, or not, yeah, both. You gotta have it all. And if you're not loving yourself or putting yourself first in situations to where you can get to that positive mindset of having abundance, you're not gonna get your money up. So it's just, and that's just it. That's it.
Yeah.
Period.
And
And go ahead.
speaking about significant others too, back to that. He has put in my mind, my boyfriend. He has
Not sure you're saying boyfriend.
my boyfriend has kind of like put in my head that manifestation. He's a huge manifester. Is that the right term? Manifestee? Manifester? Whatever. He be
He attract.
manifesting.
He's a huge. He's really he's a strong what is it called? Not pursuit. A strong believer in the law of attraction.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And he has made me kind of understand that more. And I know that's the same thing that you guys were doing too, at least from what I can
Yeah.
remember
That's
growing
what
up.
I translated it as. So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Especially you, like Tyura, like Shakira too. Like
Mhm.
you guys are the main people that have introduced me to it.
Mhm.
But I don't think we ever, I was too young. I'm not listening to everything that you guys were saying around that time.
Yeah, you weren't.
Yeah. But now, like I get it now.
It has to make sense. There's a lot of things for me as well. And like I'm saying, like I think things with me started around your age. Like I met Wanye at 24,
Mm-hmm.
23, 24. Um it has to make sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, you're not really going to listen to it. As well as I think with my dad, he didn't bombard us with so much information to where we're just like, huh? Or even force information on us, or even just his opinion or beliefs on us to where we're like, okay, because we're not going to be able to relate to it till like way later, or like till we see it. For me, Aaliyah, I don't relate to it until I see it like right in front of my face
Yeah.
sometimes, and I'm
And
like, oh,
I
okay,
feel like Uncle Steve, he never really, I feel like your dad, he never really told you guys what to do. He made you guys think. He made y'all use y'all brains.
yeah,
And that's what I love. Shout out Uncle Steve. But he made you guys, he made y'all like think.
yeah,
And that's what I needed. I was constantly being told what to do and being told like what I'm doing is wrong.
hmm
When I'm nothing I'm doing is wrong. I'm just expressing myself through the way that I know how to.
You're probably only being told what you're doing is wrong because whoever was telling you what you're doing was wrong probably did the same thing and was like, oh, it didn't work out for me. It's not going to work out for her. You are not me.
Mhm.
You don't do what I do. I love that sound. On
You
TikTok,
can't do what
you
I
can't do what I do. You're not me. So anyway, I love that sound. I'm gonna use it. I
Yeah.
don't know for what yet, but anyway.
But yeah, so like I would always get like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. I can do what I want actually. So mind your business. And
And
I'll
it'll
mind
work
mine.
out. And it'll work out for me,
Yeah, right.
not
And
you.
it'll work out for me. And if you see it, then you see it. And if you don't, then you don't.
Right.
I don't like whenever people try to control my life. Why are you trying to control me?
Who are you?
Exactly. Like who are you?
Yeah, I feel the same
And then
way.
it be people whose lives are messes. Who are you
Yeah.
talking to? And I just like where I am right now in life because I'm going into the part where I don't care what anybody else has to say about what I do in life. I don't care if people tell me what I'm doing is wrong because
Mhm.
it may be wrong to you, but it's a step for me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. I'm learning.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry you didn't learn from your mistake, but you're not me, like I
Mhm.
said.
And
Like,
and people trip on a step and they're like, I can't go up anymore. If you trip, it's okay. You can get back up.
right.
If you can
You
get back,
gonna
if
get
you
back
have the
up.
strength
People
to,
will go quit. They'll quit and then try something else. But it's like in subconsciously you're doing the same thing over because you didn't learn your lesson
Mhm.
that during that first time. So now you're being put through another test again.
Mhm.
Me and you are related through your dad is my uncle and then my aunt. Like your dad is my mom's brother. So
Yes.
they're siblings.
Mhm.
So they were raised They were raised pretty, give me a word. They were raised pretty,
What you
not
want me to say?
strict.
Oh yeah.
Not strict. Strict is not the word,
Yeah, no.
but
They
pretty stern. And they had,
they were raised controlled.
you think so? You think that's the word?
That's what I think.
That's not, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Controlled, and I think because honestly, I think because my mom is the youngest, that's the only reason why she's a little
Off the wall. Second plane.
rebellious. No, she's not. It's a
Yeah.
kid, it's sweet. But a little rebellious, especially with some of the stories she tells me, because
Yeah.
they were raised Muslim.
Mhm.
And I think she was just like the last one. And
Yeah.
I don't know if your mom does this, but my parents do. With them last ones, y'all need to stand up. Cause stand up.
Yes.
Cause I don't know, like Khalil and Taj, they're fine now.
I'm trying to think.
They're fine now, but I don't want to call y'all lazy, but y'all got a little like,
Comfortable.
yes, there you go. I was gonna say old. Y'all got a little comfortable with raising them last couple of kids.
Yeah.
And your mom, are y'all the same amount? No, you're not. Your mom's
No,
yeah.
5 and 5.
5 and 5. Yeah,
Yep.
y'all got a little comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stop.
Oh my god.
But
But
anyway,
I remember me and Kayla used to talk about that all the time. How they were they were more lenient with us when it came to like if we wanted to go somewhere, like go outside, go to our friend's
Mhm.
house, and they would be like miles away. She'd let us walk, ride our bike, whatever.
Mhm.
But when it came to being on us about what we needed to do in life,
Yeah.
she was, I love you, mama, but she wasn't as hard as I would have liked her to be. And then when it came to the younger ones, it was kind of like, you got it on your own, you know?
For us, I don't know or for Khalil and Taj, it wasn't necessarily you got it on your own, but it was just like, all right, I'm not gonna always tell you what to do. Why? You did it to us, like dang. And I know my dad, he's like started to have more peace in his life. Good for you. But like it's just like it was some things and I'm just like, what the heck? Like not even things that not even it's not even about getting away with stuff either. It's just about like the principle of some things. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what? Why would you do that? But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, with that being said,
Yeah.
how hard is it, especially with you being in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
to raise the bar when pursuing an intimate relationship after having relationships that cause trauma as an adolescent?
Okay. I don't think the bar is hard to raise, but it's hard to follow. So
Whose bar is that? What you mean follow?
when by relationships you mean just generally speaking, or are you being specific?
I'm saying whatever relationships, excuse me, relationships, whatever relationships cause you trauma in your adolescence, whichever ones it was, and that because that's your foundation, it's kind of shaping you, it's forming you for the ultimate intimate relationship that you want to be in as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You set a bar with how you're treated. You do, like you do it subconsciously. Everybody does. You set a bar with how you're treated, how you feel you need to be treated, or how you want to be treated versus how you probably should actually be treated. And the bar might be real low. So how do you start how do you set a goal of starting to raise that bar when it comes to how you need to be treated in your intimate relationship with your possible future husband?
Mm. Can I have you answer that question first?
I'm a Leo, and I've always been a very because to me, it's either you're a secure Leo, or you're insecure. There's no in the middle. And Gwen, you're also a fire sign. You're an Aries.
Yes.
Love the Aries. Bounce off of them. Anyway, um, Oh, actually, I bounce off of every fire sign for real when I'm having a conversation with them. Seems like, but I feel like with me because I was technically the middle child
Uh-huh.
for because I was the middle child for a
For a
while,
while until the
and
boys were
then
born.
Khalil came. So, but I was the middle daughter, so that's something. And I feel like I learned, and I've talked about this before on here. I've learned from Tyra of what not to do, and then Shakira of what to do or what not to do. I did learn from Tyra. I learned from you of what to do a bit, but it came later. Um, so it was kind of like I didn't have a set expectation for myself for a long time. I just didn't know. I really didn't. Like I didn't really know what I wanted for a long time. I don't
Mhm.
really anything. I didn't even have my first relationship until I was like 19 or 20 or something like that, sometime in college. Or no, it was not 19 or 20 in college. I got to college in 17. At 17, I graduated at like 19. Okay. So like 18. Um, and I always have admired how my dad treated my mom and how he's taken care of us, but there also was a time period when we were in Georgia where I didn't really know daddy like that. I really didn't, and
I
he worked a
remember,
lot.
yeah, and I remember visiting you guys,
Mhm.
and you were the main one. I remember you were always
What?
the one that was always so happy to see
Daddy when he
Yeah,
came home.
every
Yeah,
time,
because he
every
was
time.
gone all day. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna see you in the mornings, but if I'm going to school, you're going to work. He's probably going to work before us, most likely, or like
But
yeah,
then he was
before us.
back and forth from state to state for a while.
When was that?
He was he
What
not?
state?
Jersey.
No, when we were young. No, when we moved to Jersey, that wasn't really back and forth. He was just getting ready to move us
No, no,
back
no,
up
no,
here.
no. When you guys were living in Georgia,
You mean when we very first moved there?
whatever house had the balcony in the living room, like over top of the living room.
That
When you
was
guys
both.
were
That was
when
both houses.
Oh dang.
One house had the hallway with the balcony, and the other house had the like foyer with the balcony. It was a smaller balcony. So you mean the hallway, or you mean the foyer? Like it was like the foyer kind of.
The one with the really big hill going up into
Okay,
the
the
house.
first one.
That one, yes. I remember
Maybe
him
he was.
I remember him being there because he was in Jersey for like maybe it was just one time. But I
Maybe he was
remember
traveling for work.
that's what it was. It
But
was for
I don't think it
work.
was Jersey. He used to travel like to I don't know, but it wasn't Jersey.
No. But I just remember that you always used to be so excited to see him again because he was gone for like I think a month at this time.
He could have been just establishing that job because he
Hmm.
wasn't always like he has technically been at his job that he's at for 20 something years,
Hmm.
but in between in that little time frame, which was 10 year, it was technically 10 years, but it was whatever. He was at uh some other company. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna say it. It was two other companies actually, because
Hmm.
he had to leave the first one, don't know why, and then he went to another one, and then we ended
He
up
said
moving back later.
he said why. I thought he said why.
We don't know why.
Oh.
But anyway, so yeah, that is how I did feel that way. I felt like I didn't really know him, so
Mhm.
I didn't have any type of expectation of how I should be treated. I did talk to a couple of people that I probably shouldn't have been talking to. Like I know when I was a freshman, I talked to somebody who was like a senior for a little bit. Anyway, and like stuff like that. So I didn't really have a bar. I didn't. Like it was just like anything, I guess. I don't know. And then I also didn't have an example of like even like we were down there with like Pop Up, but Nana had passed away already. So it's like I didn't have an example. I don't really know how to explain it. So
Mhm.
when I got into my first relationship, I think I would that's a pure example of me going straight off of whatever probably daddy has told me. And I probably didn't even know why I was doing it. I was just doing it. And I know one thing I did observe when I was in that relationship though is that the person that I was with, he didn't like me that much. He didn't. Like I just don't think so. And it took me a couple of months to figure it out, but then I think I started to try to you know what, here we go. Here's the answer then. I think I started to try to groom our relationship to where he would like me more, you know? and it was long distance. He lived in Alabama. He was at in college.
Mm.
Um, and I was here, and I was working at like the Hard Rock. I had started to get like more opportunities. He wasn't really happy for me. He didn't really. I don't want to say didn't care, but I'm a.
If this is the one I'm talking about, I
It's
mean,
only one.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't think he
I
really
understand.
cared,
Yeah.
but it was more so. I don't think he really knew how to care because of like how his upbringing was and the lack of support he had. But which I did understand that at the time too. I was pretty old. I was like 20. Like what was I 19 to 20? Or it was like 19 to like 20, 21. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so there wasn't really a bar. It was just like I was just trying to make life anything that I wanted to make it at the time,
You're
and it
just trying to
wasn't
make
really
do with what
working
you
out.
had.
Yeah, with what I had, and it wasn't really working out because he didn't like me that much, and it's just as simple as that. Now, I'm not gonna say that I necessarily struggled like when getting into this relationship with Wanye. I'm not gonna say that I necessarily struggled to like shift my mindset, but it the last guy I was with, he was an asshole. He was. And he was a blatant claim to be proclaimed proud asshole, like one of them type people.
Mm.
And it's like, I don't even know why you claiming to be an asshole. You ain't like I know it goes back to this, but you don't even have enough money to be claiming this. Like you don't really have much of anything. I don't know why you're so proud to claim this as if you have other things to back this up.
Child.
You don't. So, and it's not all
Oh my
about the
God.
money,
Tell me
but
about
it's like you don't have enough assets to claim this up, excuse me, but the personality. You don't.
it. Mm-hmm.
You don't at all. So, anyway,
Yeah.
so with that being said though, when I got when I got into this relationship and Wanye is a genuinely nice person. He really is. Like just genuinely nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at you. Like that's how I be feeling. Um, I don't really know if I knew how to take it. And then like I was telling you earlier, I wanted to stay friends with him forever and that's all I really wanted. And I don't think at the time that I believed that I can have both. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's where my bar was. My bar, it wasn't in hell, but it was kind of low. And honestly, I think even though I preach to Wanye about having standards, boundaries, all that, I think that being in this relationship, it's helped me still raise that bar higher and higher and higher.
See, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Because usually people get comfortable in their relationships and they're like, oh, it's perfect.
I don't tolerate that. I don't tolerate that gut comfortability. Like, what are you
Good.
comfortable about?
Yeah.
We have bills. Like, I have debt. Like, I'm not comfortable.
Right. Okay. uh, well, see, the bar is different for different relationships and different categories. For example, like
Yeah.
my friend bar. Growing up in high school, no, this is when I got out of high school. I had a really core like friend group,
Mm-hmm.
and no tea, no shade to them whatsoever. Like this is just my perspective, but it just seemed like it came to a point where it started becoming hateful with
Yeah.
everything that I was doing. And I was just being myself. And I felt like there was something wrong with being me.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of ended up talking to the girl that I was friends with at the time. It didn't end nicely, but we're totally cordial and cool now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, it was very much Gwen, you need to realize like your worth. You need to realize this about yourself. She was right to an extent, but because I guess I was becoming too tiring for her, which
Tiring.
I,
That's rough.
yeah, there was a point where I will be honest, I was male centered completely.
I remember.
Yep, yeah, you were there for it. I was completely male centered and it creeped into friendships and it did like, mess up friendships.
Okay.
And this is one of the friendships that it messed up. I was tied to that boy and I had to let that boy go.
Yeah.
Had to let him go.
Good
And
job.
letting him
Good
go,
job.
yes. Oh my God, I had to let him go. But letting him go kind of drove me into this kind of weird craziness because that was the only person that I knew. And I was with him like all the time, like almost
Mm,
every day. So being that connected to someone, it messed it up. It messed it up. It messed up my relationship with my friends because I was like, oh, I miss
mm.
him. I love him. I da da da. She'd be like, Gwen, you got like shut up.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired of you talking about this man. Like you got to keep going. And then it came to the point where it became hateful on both sides. Not even just her. It became hateful on both sides because I kind of just stopped wanting to hang out with her. She was kind of like holding on and being like, "Yo, like what the hell what's going on? Like why aren't we having a conversation about anything?"
Mhm.
And then it's when it finally got to a all right, this is not working anymore. Our dynamic with each other isn't good.
Yeah.
And she's still a great person. And
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a great person too, but it's just we weren't great for each other. But the bar that I raised with that is realizing I need to stop letting other relationships affect somebody that has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with her.
Yeah.
How I was because of a relationship that ended and I brought that into ours and it messed it up.
Yeah.
And I can listen, I was
I had a friend like, well,
mostly my
I
fault.
have a friend like you, but we're still friends. My best friend, but we're
Hmm.
still friends. But I wouldn't say it was necessarily a bad thing because I know how to see people for who they are. I've been doing that for a while, but it did affect things, and it's like she okay. I'm not gonna say she was male centered. Let me not. She wasn't necessarily male centered, but it was just more so hanging on to
A dream
kinda, I
or an
guess
illusion.
so, or like hanging on to certain relationships that to where you're trying to like really push the potential out of a man, like stuff like that. And it's just like you cannot, you ever like that's not your son either. So stop. I'm just saying that's the only man that you can possibly do that to is your son. That's it. And maybe your dad, but you've only known your dad for as long as you've been alive, not as
Yeah,
long as he's been alive.
right.
So yeah, but
He's
yeah,
lived so much life before that,
before you,
way
before you,
before.
yeah. So
When it comes to like relationships, the bar that I would raise there is not settling.
mhm.
I don't settle. And it me finally not settling didn't happen until honestly until I met my boyfriend now.
Do you was it hard though? That's it
Yes.
was hard, or
Yes.
is it hard? Because
It
it's still
felt
new.
it felt like
Hasn't been a year yet.
it felt like I was ripping a part of me out that like a disease out of me because I was so
Mhm.
clinged on to somebody that really didn't know what they wanted.
Mhm.
I didn't know what they wanted, and I was trying so hard to find it and dig it out of
Oh my
them,
god,
and they just
that's
weren't
what I was
honest.
doing,
And, and
and I'm just like,
they were never honest with me.
nope.
They string me along like
Mine didn't lie to me, but they were just never honest, like just never telling me nothing.
mm-hmm.
Like I don't think I was ever cheated on. Could have been. I don't think I was ever cheated on or like even just blatantly lied to. But it was just like you're not telling me anything, so you're kind of lying. Like
Yeah.
you're not honest.
You're keeping a part of you from me, and you
Yeah.
said that you said this, that, and the third, but where's the action? Where are you actually applying that into us? You're not.
You're not.
And then it was a lot.
And then the hypocrisy. That's what that blows me. Hypocrisy. Like you're telling like if we're in a situation or okay, you're sitting
Excuse me.
on FaceTime playing your game. And then you want to sit and be like, "Hey babe, you know about this that. Well, he did this that." Used to listen to like the judgment because it was just really just judgment. That's why I didn't really say anything because it's a bunch of BS, just judgment.
Right.
And I used to listen. One day, I was like, "What does that have to do with you?" I said that, and he was just like, "Dang." I was like, "What do you mean? Like you brought it up? You're sitting here telling me about somebody else blowing up their spot about their business, what they got going on, which also 9 times out of 10 was probably a friend. Why are you talking about your friends like that, judging them?" and you don't got nothing going on. This nigga lost his car keys in the cafeteria. How do you lose your car keys of a car? Like, you gotta get places. You live in the South. It's far. Things are far.
Right.
You gotta get places. You gotta go back home. This is your responsibility. You can't keep hold of your entire, like, it was a whole key on a little thing. What is
I
that
lost my
called?
keys once.
Okay, I mean, immaturity. How? What is that called? What is that called?
The
neck thing.
lanyard.
The lanyard. Lost
Mhm.
the whole lanyard. It was like a whole key. It's not like it was 3 keys on a little ring. No, it was a whole key.
I was 18.
That was he was about 22. No, wasn't that old. No, yeah, he was older than me. Just a little bit. But yeah, he was probably like 21, 22. And it's like, anyway.
Right. And I'm a girl.
What's the vibe, folks? It's your boy Wanyeezy, and it's 2026, but here's the important message for 2026 and beyond. Beyond. What are you doing to make your brand be seen by your audience? No matter if you're an artist, no matter if you're a business or an actual brand, what are you doing to be seen? Are you telling a story that people could buy into? If not, that's where I come in. I specialize in storytelling as well as generating results and views, no matter if it's photo or video. We're going to sit and figure out what needs to be done and what needs to be executed in order to be seen by the most of your followers and more. W&R Productions is where it's at.
Sometimes I'm a little sexist with things sometimes.
There's also
Sorry.
there was also no he didn't have a spare key. It's not like there was a spare key.
No, I
Like,
had
there
a
was
spare.
no, he didn't have a spare. He had bought his car like straight out cash, like off the side of the street, which it wasn't a bad car. It was like cool, but it was like, that's fine. But it's like, you have to be responsible. Like, and it's like, you're sitting here talking about people, judging people for this, judging people for that. But when I come see you, the person buying the food is me. The person taking care of us is me. The person, I want my money back still. This is my third time probably saying this on here. This is like, the person, it's me. It's not you.
Oh my God.
I got one gift in that
heavy
relationship,
on
and it
I
was
want
right
my
before we
money
broke
back.
up.
I want all my money back. Can I tell a story?
Go ahead.
Child, it wasn't even that serious. No, it is serious. So my ex-boyfriend, we weren't dating at this time, but I was straight out of high school. He was a senior, and he was dating this little girl. But we talked it out. The girl is actually, she's not even bad. But around the time, I just wasn't really messing with her because for obvious reasons.
Mhm.
I want my money back for that McDonald's that I bought you.
The McDonald's.
For that McDonald's that I bought you, I want it back. He had me buy him McDonald's and then told me that I was mind you, I drove him everywhere. I bought everything. I bought him McDonald's. Then he was like, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so bad. He said, I really do. Like, you really don't understand. And then he had me drop him off at a girl's house, but told me that it was his friend's house.
You told us that.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep. And
this is the same person?
Same person. And I
Damn.
found out.
All that was that person?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I found out because I went to go pick up my sister from work.
Mm-hmm.
I get a call. I'm like, hello? This girl answers the phone and she's like, hi, were you just out with my boyfriend? Was I just out with your boyfriend? I was like, who is your boyfriend? She's like, mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh. And that's when all the lying, this comes back to the bar. I lowered my bar so low for this man. I lied for him. I lied for him to her.
Oh yeah.
I lied to her for him to make sure he kept his clean boy what is it called? Reputation.
Gwen, why were we doing all this at the same time? This is all at the same time.
It's all at
the same time period.
And I was like, and I did that. I think that carried on after that for maybe like 2 years. And I
Mhm.
was still willing to put myself last and put him on top of me every time. And he wasn't doing anything for me. Nothing. Nothing.
Me either.
And then the guys that continued after that, it was like the same thing. And it was like, oh, I'm so used to just being stepped on. And then love you dearly. But I would talk to my dad about it, and he kind of just made it seem like, well, you gotta fight for you gotta fight for this
What?
for the
That was the
relationship.
advice. That was the advice.
It was like you gotta try. And it's because of
That was the advice.
and it was because of
Because when I flew, sorry, when I flew to Atlanta, took a bus to Alabama, took a freaking a Uber to the campus. My dad was like, "You're never doing that shit again." That's
Right.
exactly what he said.
right.
And he was like that. He said that was too much. That's what he said. He said that was too much.
Mhm.
That was reaching. And he didn't tell me till it was over. I'm like, why didn't you tell me then? But I guess because it was my first relationship, so he was trying to figure it out. He knows I'm his sensitive child. Well, I don't care. Like you should have told me before.
You should let me know.
Because I remember when we actually had to talk about it, I had started crying because we had never talked about it. It was like after we broke up, we had never really talked about it, and I started crying because it was just like a lot. Like, and I think that's when I realized like my bar, it was set low, and I really wasn't prioritizing myself like almost at all. And let me tell y'all something. He was tall, 6'2", and dark skin.
It don't mean
He
nothing.
had clear skin.
Don't mean
Please let go of
that.
let go of the looks, please, the physicality. I'm not saying you gotta go get a little gremlin, but I'm just saying, like, let go of the physicality of like what you want to see how this person has to look this way.
It
Let it
doesn't
go.
last forever.
It
People
sure
grow
doesn't.
old and they deteriorate. People grow old and they get
And
short.
I told y'all this before. His breath stunk. So all that didn't even really matter. He had waves and all. Hair was nice. Hair was not full beard. Breath stunk. Yes. And that's not new news to me, but that's what it was. And that was my definition of what your dad said. You got to try. I was trying. I was pushing through with that sticky breath. And I think I mostly pushed through it because it was long distance. If it wasn't long distance, I don't think I would have been able for as long as I did, however long that was. I still don't remember the time period. Like, it don't matter. But anyway, sorry. I'm just saying, let that go. Let the physicality and like, oh, they gotta be this, gotta be that, look like this. No, they need to love themselves, take care of themselves and cleanse. Like, please.
Mhm.
But anyway,
But
that advice is crazy.
But yeah, like he didn't physically say fight for it, but he was like,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, you have to try. You can't just give up.
And it's because of the situation that he was in, like with my mom when they were younger, and he was
But the thing about that is you can't be in battle by yourself.
Right. What am I fighting for?
Right.
Nothing. I'm not fighting for anything.
That's what I'm saying. You're not fighting really with anybody. It's just you trying, and he's not doing anything.
I'm talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
I'm fighting with a brick wall.
Yeah.
I'm fighting with this.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's it. Nothing else.
But
he's not doing nothing.
But then like the relationships that followed after, it was like I was still doing the same thing. I was the main one that was putting in more effort than the other person was. And that doesn't always mean financially.
Yeah.
That means like emotionally, I was the one that was always like checking up on them, making sure that they're okay.
Making the plans to see each other.
I was the one that was putting in effort, time, money, my emotions. I was putting my own psyche on the line.
Mm-hmm. Sitting on the phone, you're playing the game, and I'm asking you questions about just life.
Right.
And you can't even say anything or hold on. Exactly. And then once you finally have a minute, I gotta go.
Right. And my bar raised right like as soon as I realized that I was falling in love with the guy that I'm with now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he constantly does That's
not what she said yesterday. Oh, look at you.
I know, yeah.
Because it went from, I don't know what that says, to falling in love. What does that say?
So, like, my bar finally it raised because he's constantly checking up on me, making sure I'm okay. I was always doing that. That's bare minimum covered. But he
Mhm.
goes above and beyond. And if I say that something's wrong, he's like, okay, we'll figure it out. Or I will figure it out.
That's who I need this.
And it just makes you feel like special. Like you feel special and you
Important.
feel important, you feel safe.
Right.
And I'm like, if God forbid, God forbid, God forbid, anything ever happens with the relationship that I have now, which I'm pretty sure I won't. But God forbid,
I
I
mean, you
know.
talking about he coming here to meet us. I
Yes,
was a little surprised by that
yes, he is.
because I don't know. I'm just
Why were you
surprised.
surprised?
Well, first of all, he's coming from California.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised by it.
yeah.
Coming up, you didn't say to meet your dad. Usually, they would only meet your dad.
No, he mean
No,
everybody.
you said he's meeting everybody.
Yep,
I was
everybody.
like, okay,
We're
cool.
going around the town. We're gonna be everywhere. It's starting with mama,
Mhm,
and then the grandparents,
mhm.
uncles on that side, and then he's gonna meet the friends, and then he's gonna come over. He's gonna meet everybody.
How many uncles do you have on that side? 3?
2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just 2. Well, I have a grunkle. But he crazy.
Whatever. Yeah, y'all came up with that word, and I was like, what the heck is that?
But grunkle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my bar with like relationship has raised ever since I met him, and it's because he constantly reminds me that I'm special and that I'm a catch and that I deserve whatever, however way that he treats me. Hmm. Yeah. Now,
What?
family. The bar.
I'm gonna go through the
Yeah.
family and the friends when you're done because I didn't even think about. I
Hmm.
didn't completely think about that.
Yeah.
But
Family. That is like a bar that is being raised right now, and the issue with that is because you know me my whole life. I'm a very expressive child. I rarely ever keep my mouth shut. I am very opinionated.
me too.
Now, when it came to me having an opinion with my immediate household, it was always shut down because I was
Mhm.
looked at as, oh, you don't know you don't know what you're talking about. Like you're just a kid. You're so young. You don't know what you're saying.
For me, when it came to expressing my emotions, I was shut down. I was, and I was like, okay, but y'all don't ever say nothing,
And then you start.
and now y'all struggle anyway.
Mhm.
But
Right.
anyway, yep.
Right. So I learned and I learned my dad says this all the time. He's like, you're definitely not from like your mom's side. You may have grown up with them, but a lot of the stuff that you like talk a lot of the way that you are able to have and hold conversations, that definitely comes from this side. You're able to express yourself because that comes from this side. And at first I was like, you don't know my mom's that side of the family. So how do you like now? Because they, every people change.
Hmm.
But I realized moving to Georgia and being and living with this side of the family,
Hmm.
I realized like you were right. My dad was right.
Hmm.
Because I can easily go and I can talk to Pop Up about anything and he'll sit there and he'll listen. And that's the difference. Sorry, but my mom's side of the family, they're not great with listening. They tell you what to do. They're like, no, you're not going to do that. You're going this way. And I was so just lost. I was like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I
Hmm.
want to do. And I started looking at myself in the mirror and I started hating it because it's like this is not who I want to be. I don't want to be whoever they want me to be. I want to be who I want to be.
Hmm.
And because I was so outspoken to them, they saw that as me being like disobedient and me being just like
I never liked that because I
like
used to hear when I was younger that when they tried to diagnose you with ADHD and they were like, yeah, Gwen does this, that because she has ADHD. I never truly knew what ADHD was um until like way later, and especially with everything I do now. Of course, I know what it is, but I was just like, what does that even mean? And for me as a kid, I used to be like, why do we have to put in a box of Gwen liking to have fun as ADHD? And then
Remember,
also,
I'm young.
yeah, a
I'm
kid.
a kid.
You're a kid.
Like,
And
I'm enjoying life as a kid because there's nothing that I need to worry about
right.
at that point.
And it was just like, why? Like, it was just like, to me, it was just like, why so serious? Like, why is this so serious that she's diagnosed with ADHD and then she has these issues and she has this, she has that? Like, I remember hearing that over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm just like,
Yeah, they try to
what are
medicate
y'all
me.
talking
They
about?
try to put meds in my mouth.
And then when we finally started to, I think, have conversations, which was when we came back from Georgia. Well, when I came back, because I came back a little later. I was like, I was confused a little bit because I mean, you were immature, but we all were. But it's just like, I was confused as to where the problem was. I was confused by that because, like, I know even at that time you were like a freshman or sophomore in high school, but still, it just wasn't whatever it was that they tried to put on you, put on it, because it was multiple people in our family. I'm just like, it's not this serious. Why is it this? It just never made any sense to me, and I didn't get it, and I didn't really like it either. And I never treated you that way. I never reflected or not reflect.
You never did.
I never like projected, I guess, like what they projected onto you because of however they felt you should be doing or how you should be.
And you have been like,
I
you
never
were
did
there when I
that.
was like tweaking, and you were just like, shut up.
Yeah, stop. Like, it's like, you're okay. You're fine.
Right.
Stop. Like, you're okay. We are the help. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that deep to me. It never was. And I just never liked that. I never liked that they put you in that category.
Yeah.
I hated it. But anyway.
Yeah, hated it too.
Back to the bar.
Yeah, back to the bar. With like my family, I realized that I don't want to raise, eventually when I have a family of my own, I don't want to raise my kids how I was raised. Like, there's a lot that I want to change when it comes to telling you to be quiet. Like, I love performing. I love the arts. I was constantly singing, being loud, because I mean, that's what I love to do just comes with, naturally comes with. And I was constantly told, shut up, shut up. But that's like suppressing a child's creativity. And because of that, I became like shy. Obviously not like shy, but like I became shy of my talents. And I thought that I was like, oh, so am I bad? Like, why are you telling me shut up? So I got in my own head. And then I started thinking like, oh, my family doesn't really support anything that I do. And that made me depressed. Oh my God. I remember just crying in my room constantly, just bawling. But that's besides the point. I'm okay now. And we made the move. I'm doing great now. Love it. Love it. Love my space. Love my mindset now too. So the bar is definitely being raised because I'm realizing a lot of things that I grew up with. I wouldn't label as traumatic because my childhood was not traumatic, but it was just very like, oh, be quiet, calm down. You're doing too much. You're too dramatic. You're too much. You're way too much. And I realized I'm not too much. I'm just who I am. So I know how I want to raise my children. It's just gonna, it's just the executing that I gotta do the right way. Even though there's no right way to raise kids, but
There's no right way.
Yeah.
I feel like it's what you feel. There is no right way to raise your kids, but as long as you're doing it from your heart and not trying to be controlling and continuing to treat them like little human beings, because that's what they are.
Right.
And then of course letting a kid be a kid.
Right, because we're
Like,
also learning and growing. Like from time to time, I would see adults being like, "Oh, calm down! Like you need to calm down." No, they're being a kid. Let them be a kid.
right.
Now, if you're out in public and they're like messing up and terrorizing stuff, that's different.
That's different.
But like if they're just
That's
like
a reflection of you.
right,
So
so maybe look at yourself in the mirror and that's.
I
why
mean,
they're
unless
acting the
you
way they
have
are.
like a special child or an autistic child, that's a reflection of you, honey.
Yes.
So maybe you need to reel it in
Yep.
and start over, like, or something. I don't know. I'm not a mom yet, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
based off of I be around kids, et cetera, and I helped raise my two children, Cole and Taj. That's what you need to do, and that's just it. But I feel like okay. So let me see if I can get a little bit into the bar of friendship. I feel like for me, the standards for friendships and family has always been one and the same for me. Um, the only thing is like the standards that I set on friends is actually based off of what's set between me, Tyre, and Shakira. Just because that's just how our relationships are.
Mhm.
Now Shakira, I just started becoming closer with her within the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. But I base it off of my siblings because I'm very, very close with my siblings. I kind of always have. Khalil and Taj, of course, is getting better, and like we're getting closer and closer because they're becoming adults.
Yeah.
But
I
I've
always idolized like how close you guys all were, because you guys were always just like
yeah,
super.
super close.
Yeah.
Not crazy close, we still get on each other's nerves. But like but we've always had a loyalty, like
Yeah.
in a genuine loyalty.
I feel like that's how like Amira and Jamil were too. I idolized all of you guys because
Yeah.
you guys were like the siblings were always just like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I like
But
that.
we always had a genuine loyalty, so it's like when I have friends, particularly girlfriends really because I'm closer to my sisters and my brothers, um I kind of set it to where I'm like, you got to be like this, like a little bit. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I'm not going to call it a bad thing. I know it's probably a high standard because that's your
Mhm.
sibling. But at the same time, like I said, Gwen, you're my friend. Like, my cousins are my friends. So y'all are all kind of in the same category. It's all in the same category. So I guess even the standard with my cousins being my friends, it was the same with like my friends outside of my blood. It was the same thing.
Mhm.
So that was the standard for me. And I think I still abide by that standard. Only difference is now, like, I'm a little more, I feel like, loving and accepting for people for who they completely are. Because I'm not going to say some people can't necessarily help it, but if you're in a cycle of how you are in life, and I feel like if you're not, you're not a corruption, like I can deal with it. I can take you and I can love you. I can, as long as we're able to bounce off of each other in some kind of way, I can have a true relationship with you. So I am a little more loving, I feel like now, but I have always had the standard of friends and family has always been the same. It's never really um been different. But when I was younger and I did have a friend group, it was really like middle school to high school. We kind of it kind of broke up from middle school to high school.
Mhm.
And then in high school I did have a friend group, but it wasn't it wasn't that loyal. I was it was a couple of them that I was decided to be loyal to, and I feel like it's because we connected on a different, not even a different type of level. We just connected more.
Mhm.
Um but it definitely did, yeah, it fell apart. That fell apart cuz it just wasn't it. I feel like a lot of people, which I mean this is high school, but a lot of people spent a lot of time trying to figure things out, and like you're like doing crazy stuff. And it's like, I'm sorry to call it crazy, but it is crazy. Like when you're over sexualized, that's crazy. It is when you are. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm only saying that because I wasn't doing anything until I got to college. But when you let it take over, I'll say that because everybody does what you do. You would kind of experiment a little bit. I was a virgin in high school, but that I wasn't not doing anything, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So I understand, but if you're letting it get in the way of like our friendship, and it's like, girl, you don't even we can't even comprehend what this really actually even is. That's
I'm sorry.
crazy. Yeah. Like if I'm telling you what you just did was kind of dangerous, like why don't I don't think you should do that again, and you're getting mad or feeling overly judged, but then you also have like some type of reputation going around school, you don't see the problem here? Like you don't like there's a there like you maybe you just shouldn't do
Wait,
it.
so hold on. Some person would be upset with you because you weren't sexually active?
No, not because I wasn't sexually active, but because if I'm saying, and I'm not even gonna say, I'm not gonna use the word judge because it's not like I'm sitting here being like, oh, why would you do that? I'd never do that. No, I'd literally say out my mouth, maybe you shouldn't do that again. That sounds dangerous. Like,
Right.
don't do that again. Like, I don't think, not even don't do that again. I'm not your mom, but I would say, I don't think you should do that again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and especially if you're telling me, which most likely 8 times out of 10 was probably a sexually abusive situation. And I'm sitting here saying you shouldn't do that again. Like, okay, I understand because of trauma. I do have trauma as well in other areas, and it wasn't at that time, but I have trauma as well. So I understand now. At that time, I didn't understand, but it's like if somebody's telling you, maybe, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that, and it's your friend that you claim, you have love for, blah, blah, blah. Why, like, not even why, but getting offended by that back then, it was just like crazy. And that's why I'm
Right.
just not friends with these people no more.
Child,
Yeah.
that's a grown person's
Right.
activity too at the end of the day.
It is, but, unfortunately for some people, they were kind of forced to be grown, I guess.
What is something that you appreciate the most about our relationship? I know we don't talk like all the time, but what is something that you appreciate?
The consistency. Our relationship is very consistent. And I'm saying that because, like, the energy of our relationship doesn't change. I don't think it's ever changed.
Mm-mm.
I think it's always been the same, and like in a very positive way. I know I'm your older cousin, but you don't really make me feel like that. You make me feel like we're the same age and
I
we're
don't
going
think
through the
about
same
age whenever I think about
things.
my cousins. Like I know I'm the youngest out of the older people, but I really just think that we're all the same age.
Yeah, it
Like
does feel
Jamil,
that
he's
way.
almost
I mean, for the most part we are, though we're not that far.
right. We're not.
But I don't either.
Right.
With none of us, even
And that
Alicia,
does and that
I
doesn't
don't think about
and
that.
that doesn't even necessarily mean like our mindsets are like younger or our mindsets are
Yeah.
older. Like we just all understand each other.
I feel like we don't pit each other against each other, and we don't put each other down either.
Yes.
Well, most of us. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Let's
yeah,
talk
that's
about
what I've
cousins.
appreciated. The consistency, like, is very consistent, and I feel like it's very intentional too. Like, it's intentional with how we try to stay close, and it's also considerate. It's also very considerate. Like, I was telling you this before, like, I appreciate that it's you, because I feel like if it was a couple other of our cousins, I don't know if it would be the same vibe. I don't know. But I appreciate that we are kind of in the same realm now, like, officially. And and you understand the game. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I got things to do.
Right.
If you're not here right now, I don't know, you might miss the wave. You might I might be here today, but I might not be here tomorrow. Like,
Right.
that's what it really is.
Right.
And people don't understand that, and that's okay. That's okay that y'all don't understand it, but I'm glad that one of the ones to understand it was you. Like, I don't know if it's like the fire sign thing, because I feel like also if like Amir was a part of this realm, he would understand too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Amira as well. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
get, like, y'all get it. Like, we
Yeah.
get it. But it's just like I appreciate that. It's very intentional, very consistent. What are your hopes of our future together? And when I say future, really think about the future of what we're doing now and what can get done, and while we're still close.
I have said this a lot all the time. I
Okay.
love your creativity and I love your expression because you
Yes.
show it through fashion and you throw it and you show it through the way of words too. You're very articulate and I like
Oh,
how yeah, I
thanks.
like how you are. So I feel like because of that, I look up to you in that sense.
Okay.
And I think that our future is definitely going to meet at a point.
Me too.
And I think that when it does, we're going to be, I don't want to say, I don't want to be cheesy and say we're going to be unstoppable, but I feel like because of your creativity and because of my creativity and because we can bounce off each other like that, our future is so in line
Mm-hmm.
that we could come to the point where we're creating things and we're setting and we're putting stuff out. Doesn't I can't even really pinpoint what exactly that would be, but we're putting things out and it's beautiful, just art. And I think that in our future, we could possibly, let me get my words together.
Like bounce off of each other.
Yeah. But it's because we both can understand how we can be expressive. And because of that, I can come to you about anything. You can come to me about, I mean, I hope that you can come to me about anything. And
I feel like you're still trying to get to a place where you're able to multitask and focus. So I don't come to you about anything, but I feel like if you just opened yourself up even for half a second, I'm like, okay, I can talk to her real quick about
yeah.
this. Yeah.
But I don't really know. Like, I feel like I know where our future would lead because we are in the same space.
But okay,
Creativity.
wherever we
Creativity.
are in the world,
Mm-hmm.
we'll always be in the same mindset.
Right.
That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
I feel like
Like physically
it's,
wherever we are in the
it's
world. Like if I'm if you're in Europe and I'm in LA or something, yeah, we'll still be on the same type of playing
wave.
field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. I agree.
I don't really have like a definitive answer for that though.
Okay.
That
That's
was a
fine.
really good question though.
I never thought I'd ask that to somebody outside of Wanye. So I was like, let me try it.
Mm.
Hmm.
I'm gonna think about that too later. And I'm
Okay. And
gonna
then you're gonna text me?
yeah, and I'm gonna
Okay.
text you.
Okay. That's fine.
I name things about myself that I need to improve on, such as like self-confidence in like my craft and all that stuff.
Hmm.
But is there something about me that you hope that I can improve on?
So Gwen, you're not vain, and I promise you I mean that. Because I know you said people say that to you.
Thank you so bad. Because people think that I'm vain. I don't get it.
But you because you were kind of, I think I'm gonna say the word conditioned to not, I don't want to say not care about yourself, but you were conditioned to not really tend to yourself. You kind of were.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
Based
true.
off what we just said, especially.
Yeah.
You were conditioned to not really tend to yourself. So I think you really try hard to tend to yourself and you try to focus on your mental a lot and like not even what's coming next, but what's happening with you
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I think sometimes you may forget in the moment other what other people have going on in that moment. Like even if you I know you said you forget things, even if you need to stop and take a note or stop and send yourself a text message, just do it. Because I'll say I okay, the person we were talking to yesterday and they were telling us a story. You got up and left, which we didn't know what was going on, but at the same time, I think that person felt it was important whatever they were saying to tell us what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of just getting up mid story and you came back like way later. I could see if that's like, okay, dang, like I just sat and listened to your stories. You could have stayed for mine, just even for like a couple more minutes, even though I mean both y'all stories was long because they just were. But
Yeah.
you could have been just a little bit more attentive to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say that. Just being a little bit more considerate in that aspect, even while still working on yourself of making sure you're good. which I know is hard. It is hard to do. That's a hard thing to do
Yeah.
because you're tending to both and it will make you just a little bit exhausted. But one place where you're going to have to do that is your relationship. So you might as well practice now
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to have to. Like, I'm not going to lie, like, tending to my feelings, especially a man, tending to his feelings and my feelings at the same time, it is a little bit of a challenge because it does exhaust you a little bit. It does, especially at the end of the day or at the end of a week, the end of a quarter, it exhausts you. But I still would rather tend to his feelings first and just put mine on the back burner just for a little bit, because I know he's going to tend to mine later. Or not even later. He's probably tending to it at the same time I'm tending to his. But I know I'm going to get it back. I know he's tending to mine too at the same time. So just keep that in mind that, like, hello, I'm very busy. What do you need? I'm so sorry. Happy birthday. Yes, but I'm filming. Yes. Okay. Bye-bye. He's coming to get you. He couldn't text that? Anyway. Anyway. Like, I'm gonna leave that in there because it's relevant to the episode. Anyway, after this reactive episode, I'm gonna have to do a mentality post because be like, like that's what I'm about to do. I'm gonna have to.
And it's crazy because we told everybody. I mean, I at least did.
I didn't.
I did.
Okay, so you couldn't text that? Okay, anyway. Yes, just remember though that you have to tend to your loved ones um in the moment. I'm gonna say that, in the moment. Remember to do that because it's always gonna come back to you,
Mhm.
especially from them, from us. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from developing and having a relationship with me?
Can I, because I didn't apply it to myself, but can I say like something that
Yeah, you can
you
say something.
inspire?
Yeah, or you can say something you've learned about me or a scenario,
Something
anything.
I learned about you.
Oh,
Something I learned about you is, Lily, I had no idea that you were as, I don't know if I'm using the right word, but as that you were struggling as hard as you were growing up,
when? Oh,
like in high school, because that's around the time where we started getting.
nobody that ever knows.
Yeah, I had no idea because you do a really good job at covering it up.
Mhm.
But because of that, because you stayed so quiet about that, you were able to observe, and you observed
A lot.
everything. And I mean everything.
I sure do.
And you even observe people that you don't even are living near or even close with. Like, for example, you you have been here. You haven't really been with Amir.
No,
But I feel like
but I know Amir.
you're right.
I
But
lived with Amir for a year.
but exactly. But how long ago was that?
2015.
Exactly. But and I feel like now we haven't had any conversations
Is that
about
10
him
years
recently.
ago?
And like we
Never.
haven't had any conversations with him or just like about him. But I feel like we could, or about our aunts. Like you know
I live with
exactly,
them too.
but that's all it takes for you. And then like and you know like how they think, and you know the decisions, not exactly the decisions that they make, but the routes that they're looking at to take. Like you're really good with that.
So I'm gonna say this. One of the biggest, so they you'll probably hear it in music. I know I hear it a lot from like Kendrick Lamar.
Mhm.
You'll hear it in music, you'll hear it on TV, you'll hear it in books. One of the biggest things you'll ever learn about life is like life is perspective, right? You hear that, right? That's like that's a huge thing because
I mean, because it's true.
a lot of people, it is true, but a lot of
Mhm.
people fail to realize that life is perspective. So it's like people aren't going to see things how you see them. So it's like that's a really big lesson in life, right?
Mhm.
But a big lesson for me, and I don't think it's even stopped yet, is that there are only a few types of people in this world. There's not that many types of people in this world. It's really not, no matter what color you are. There's not that many types. It's not.
Yeah.
Not to me. This is just my perspective. Um, I had like, I guess you can call it an epiphany one time. I'm not gonna say the whole thing. I'll say the gist of it. So you know how there are, and you don't have to even completely believe in zodiac signs for this. You don't. But there are, take it to like movies like Divergent? Yeah, Divergent. I never really saw the Hunger Games, don't judge
Like
me.
the dystopian ones, dystopian universes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But preferably the ones that always break off into sectors.
Mm-hmm.
So when now I'm gonna relate it to zodiac signs because you have the fire signs, the water signs, the earth signs, and the what did I miss? Fire, water, earth, air signs. Or like even Avatar, The Last
I was
Airbender.
just thinking that, but I was like, I don't
Um,
want to say it
like
because
I said it because I look Loki said it in the way she said the intro.
fire.
Water. I think I said it in the same word
Yeah.
order. But yeah, so you have these like sectors of people, and I feel like because of the way the earth is aligned, because we are the earth, we come from the earth. It's a full circle, the circle of life really. And you have people who have certain, I'm not going to say responsibilities, but strengths. You have certain strengths to help everybody else in humanity. You know what I mean?
You contribute to humanity in some kind of way.
Right, but
Mm-hmm.
like you're honing in on that strength. Like you have a strength.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody has the same exact strengths, which I think people get that messed up with zodiac signs. You don't have the same exact strength, but
You mean like the ones that are within the same
within
sign?
the
Yeah.
same element. You don't have all the same exact strengths,
Mm-hmm.
but you have that strength that is going to help your person within the other element. But that
Mm-hmm.
going back to what you just said, um there are going to be certain types of people now, mankind evolves, whether it's yin and yang, but mankind evolves, and it's like the good and the bad, whatever, the good, the bad, the evil, whatever. You have like your psychopaths, you
Yeah.
have your narcissists,
Mm-hmm.
you have, I don't even know what to call this like as an adjective, but you got like your big mamas, which means like, you have that loving woman that's in your life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like usually your elder. I feel like I'm going to be one day. I'm going to be a big mama one day. But anyway, that's you have those. Unfortunately, this is a category. You have the deadbeat dads. Uh you have the deadbeat moms. But then you have like the people who've been through certain traumas. Now, everybody's been through something different. You shouldn't compare traumas.
No.
But at the end of the day, a lot of traumas have the same type of outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what creates, or not even just traumas, blessings too. A lot of blessings have the same type of outcomes. A lot of the traumas have the same type of outcomes. And that's what's creating the same type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean when I say I see you. I see exactly who you are
Yeah.
because of a pattern. There always is going to be a pattern. Just like there are certain sequences. Me and Wayne have talked about this. Certain sequences of life, or certain sequences of like the way in which you live or the way in which you do something. That's that's what it is. So I'm not saying everybody is the exact same, but when you have people with similar stories, similar backgrounds, similar mothers, similar fathers, similar grandparents, similar upbringings, similar I'm not going to say what comes after, but similar beliefs, maybe even a similar way in which you dress. You have certain people that are most likely the same types of people. I don't know how many different types, but I've come across a lot of different types of people. And a lot of people fall into the same categories.
Mhm.
So for me, and I'm sure it's other people, it's not too hard to see who somebody else is. You just have to choose to see who they are or you don't.
Mhm.
And I choose to see who they are for the betterment of me and the loved ones I have around me.
Yeah,
Because
because
you're
you
not
want
about to play me. You're not about
right.
to play them either.
Mhm.
That's how I feel.
And you want to protect your
Right.
space
Exactly.
and protect your peace.
So that's probably how I'm able to, that's how people are memorable to me. And that's why also, if you've met me recently or if you just know me, first impressions are important. They really are. They really
Mhm.
are. And I mean, there is such thing as a second and a third impression, but first impressions are important.
Because
Yeah.
depending on that impression, you're going to be put in a category.
Yeah.
It may not be good.
I mean, you may not stay in the category. You can there's a such thing as evolution of change, and there was a word for that. It's like some type of catastrophic event that a human being has when they decide to shift their whole mindset. I forget what the word is. So paradigm shift, that's one, but I feel like that more so happened, which my dad taught me about that, but that more so happens, I feel like, with certain subjects in life. But the
Mhm.
word I was thinking of was metamorphosis, which is a deep internal transformation. So I do believe in there is a metamorphosis that can happen, may happen, maybe not always happen, but it can happen. But still there are certain types of people and there's a lot of the same types of people. You just have to be observant of them. But we gotta wrap this up. This is a great episode. Nice Kiki. Thanks, Gwen, for joining me in the conversation. It was
Of
nice.
course,
Very
Lily.
comfortable.
I know,
Very
yeah.
comfortable.
Like
But this
usually I
is
get nervous for these things, but my heart was like chilling the
that's
whole
good.
time. Yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
But this was throw up the fours when I say this and look at the camera. Oh God. This is the For Lifers chat. And we'll see y'all later. Bye.